Hello everyone, welcome to Ayim Craft. Welcome to today's tutorial. In today's tutorial we'll be learning this handbag. Okay, it's super easy and beginner friendly. If this is what you are searching for, please watch this video from beginning to the end. You're going to like it. To my returning subscribers, you are most welcome. To my new subscribers, you are welcome. Okay, this is the measurements: 9.5 inches by 14.5 inches, and you need 3 pieces of same measurement, but mine is I'm using 2 same type of fabric and another plain one, which is the same thing. Then this one is the front pocket, which is measuring 6.5 inches by 7.5 inches. Okay, so this one is the handle, which is measuring and over 8 by 39.5. That's 7.5 by 39.5. Okay, so let's go into the sewing aspect. So you're going to cut out 2 inches from pockets. You're going to cut out 2 inches from this pocket. You draw it out and then you cut it out with the help of your scissors. So after cutting it out, we are going to get our lining, which is measuring 6.5 inches by 12 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to divide into 2 as shown. Cut it with my scissors as you can see. Okay, after cutting it, I'll go ahead and sew my logo. But if you don't have, no problem, or you can use any decoration that you want. And mind you, you can place your decoration anywhere that you want. So now I'm going to my zipper, good side of the zipper facing good side of the fabric, and also good side of the lining covering the good side of the fabric. Then I'll stitch it round, turn it and top stitch. And also don't always forget to use your oil anytime you are using a leather material. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did to these 2 inches that I cut. Okay, I will sew it straight, then I will turn over and top stitch. Then watch the way I top stitch this very side. Can you see? Then I'll go ahead and sew it. Insert my zipper, puller, then I'm going to sew it round to form my pocket. Okay, I've formed my pocket already. Okay, after sewing this, I will now trim it out, the excess lining that I don't want. Then I'll fold this part and hem it. Okay, I'll just hem it. Okay, after getting this part being done, this handle I'm going to divide it by 2. I will fold it as shown to get the center, as you can see me do. So please follow it gradually. Okay, you're going to get it at the end of the tutorial. So I'm going to cut it into 2 with the help of my scissors. So after splitting it into 2, look at the way I'm going to fold it and sew it. But if you have another handle that you want to use, maybe you want to use your weaving rope or any other handle, you are welcome. You can skip all this long process and just sew your handle the way you want it. Okay, so I'm just going to sew it straight in 2 rows. I'll sew it into 2. Can you see how the handles turn out to be? So after sewing my handle, I'll now carry one of the panel, then and that front pocket that I sew my logo to it. Then I'll look for the midpoints, the downward part of the pocket. I will look for the midpoint and also notch the midpoint of my fabric where I will ascertain it to be the downside. So I'm going to sew it round on the panel that I want to use as my front panel. So I will sew it round as you can see me do. Okay, after sewing it round, the result will be like this. Then I will now carry my handle now and place it. Just watch as I'm placing my handle. So it's going to cover that rough edges of the sewn pocket already. Okay, it's going to serve as a bias to cover that rough edges of the pocket. So I'm just going to sew it and stop at where that my pocket stop. Okay, I'm going to sew it as shown, as where that pocket sewing stop. So I'm going to repeat the same method to the other back panel. Okay, I will repeat the same method to the other back panel. Okay, after that, I'm going to carry this my plain material and sew it as shown. Can you see how I'm attaching it? I'll attach it like this, then I will sew it straight. Okay, I'll sew it straight, then I'll repeat the same method with the other panel. Can you see? So always be careful and detailed with your work, please. Always be careful and detailed with your work, and you'll get it at the end. So I've sewn it. Can you see? So I'm going to turn it over. That's how the I turn it, and the sewn side is facing each other. Okay, so I'm going to top stitch it, applying my oil. Don't forget, if you are using a leather material. Okay, after that, the result would be like this. So I'm going to cut out my lining same size with the body of my bag. So I also have this one, is optional, 11 inches and half by 7 inches, which I'm going to use for my inner pocket. Okay, so I'm also going to cut out 2 inches, or I'm going to just fold 2 inches, I mean to say, sorry. So after folding that 2 inches, I will now draw it. I'll draw it. After drawing it, from that draw line downwards, I'm going to mark ½ inch. Okay, I'm marking ½ inch from that downwards. Okay, then from the side, I'm marking 1 inch. Okay, from the side, I'm going to mark 1 inch. Okay, after getting that, I'm going to connect it to form a rectangle. Okay, I'm going to form a rectangle, a rectangle. So after getting this, I'm going to place it on top of my big lining. I'm going to put on top of my big lining. So I did that marking on the wrong side of my lining for the pocket, for the small pocket. So I will start in the center, then I will place it as shown. That means good side of the lining of the pocket facing good side of the lining, and I'm leaving 2.5 inches from the upside. Then I'm just going to sew it straight. Okay, after sewing straight, I'll cut it open, just as you can see me do. So please always be careful and detailed with your work. Okay, so I'll cut it open as you can see me do. After cutting it open, if you have an iron, you can go ahead and iron it, turn it over. You can go ahead and iron it, or you just local iron it, just as I normally do. Can you see how it slips nicely and neatly? Then I'll carry my zipper and insert the zipper puller first before now sew it. Attach it like this. Can you see how I place it? I just place it. This one is just to a kind of paste the zip, like as if we are pasting the zip on it. Okay, so I'll just sew it round. After sewing it round, I will now fold my pocket, the lining as shown. Can you see? I will sew it as I will shown. So this is how I just sew this simple pocket without wasting time. Can you see how I fold it and I sew it? So after sewing it, I now trim out the excess fabric that I don't want. Okay, after getting this part being done, it's now time to sew the lining with the body of my fabric and attaching the zip, the bigger zip. Okay, so now I'm going to carry my zipper and attach and sew to it. Good side of the zipper facing good side of the fabric, and good side of the lining covering good side of the fabric. Okay, so I'll stitch it. After stitching it straight, I'll cut out the excess zipper, then I will turn it over and arrange it very well with the help of my hand, and then top stitch it. Okay, don't forget to apply your oil, please. Don't forget to apply your oil, except if you are using cloth material. So that I will now sew it like this, bringing fabric to fabric and lining to lining. Then I will now sew it straight. Okay, I'll sew it straight also. So after sewing it straight, I will now open the zipper to enable me turn it very well to be straight, and then I will top stitch it. Okay, then I will now top stitch it just the same way that I did to the other side. Okay, after getting this part being done, I'll now top stitch the other side. I'll just hem the other side. Can you see? So after getting this part being done, I will now insert my zip puller. I'm using 2 zip pullers for this one, guys. I'll just insert zip puller, but you can use one. It depends on what you want. Okay, so after inserting my zip puller, the result will be like this. I'll just secure the mouth of that zip cloth so that it will not pull out. Okay, after doing this, I'll now turn it over. After turning it over, it's now time for me to sew this side, close it up, and also close this up. This side up. Is this simple? So after that, I'll now cut out this opening from this sewn line. That is where I'm going to mark 2 1/4. Okay, 2 1/4 for both sides. For both sides, I will just mark 2 1/4. Okay, for both sides, then I will cut it. Can you see? So after cutting it, I will now bias this tape, this side first with my bias tape. I'll cover the rough edges of this side, and I'll also close this place that I've opened. Then I'll also cover it up with my bias tape. Can you see? I'll cover it up with the help of my bias tape, and boom, our bag is super ready. So please, if you find this tutorial helpful and impactful, please do well by giving it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if not, and share with your friend. Leave your comments down, okay, so that I will know where to improve. To my returning subscribers, you are welcome. To my new subscribers and viewers, you are also welcome. My returning subscribers, you are the best, and viewers, you are the best. And thank you so very much for your time.